Okay, and welcome back. This is Larsh, your casual Mechwarrior, bringing you the First Circuit Podcast number 14. We're going right along now with these, it seems like every week. So, tonight we have Mech. We have Abida.
Bar.
Have Ian.
Hello.
And as always, Old Bob 10025.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Internet. Alright, so this week has been kind of slow, guys. I mean, there really haven't been many updates, but I think we have a small list of things to go over. So, who wants to take a lead on that one?
I think we can have Ada start up with a quick wrap-up for the loot bag event.
Yeah. Atha, how did you do on your loot bags?
Despite being a whale, I managed to miss it by 5 because I'm retarded and lazy. So. Yay!
Yeah,
Ian also picked the wrong mech, so it's okay.
You gotta whale harder.
It turns out it's a really good thing if you read stuff in advance. I, for some reason, thought the special hunchback was the 4G with the AC-20. Turns out it was the swayback with the medium laser hardpoints. Yay.
Oops. Whoopsie.
I get a couple things, and like MC mostly is like what I wanted, and that's pretty much what I got. So it's nice.
Yeah, I went out and got my Stormcrow, which I haven't even used yet. But I will say though, it is a nice freebie though if you worked and well, I guess paid hard enough to get it.
Yeah, definitely. Basically, I think I only got to 78. I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to go do 150 freaking games and hopefully be able to get the Stormcrow. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'll just wait. I'll just wait and buy it later on or something. You want to get some money or something.
Once I pre-ordered the Piranha, that kind of put me at a nice I want to say probably 100 loot bags at that point. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna just trudge through and just fight just to get this thing.
I mean, I want it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, a Stormcrow, come on, that's be pretty cool, especially a Seabill one. Just add to the things that I got. That'd be kind of nice. But yeah, the effort was not worth it.
Yeah,
I think that's in general what we can summarize from this event. The loot bags are fine. They are a fun addition to the game. The big prize is it's okay for the people who want it. It's not great for the people who don't have a lot of time, but.
Well, plus also too, they're coming Thanksgiving and also Christmas, so it's not that big of a deal. So they'll have something else. Hopefully, it's a lot lighter during Thanksgiving and a lot lighter during Christmas, where you just got to get match score for 80 games instead of 150.
But yeah, either way,
kind of rough.
Yeah.
Personally, I earned all 150 bags, and then I felt a bit of burnout, so I've been doing other things for last
I noticed that because I was like, oh wow, by just playing games that aren't Mechwarrior. But yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Where I didn't play for 4 days, and I was like, oh, Shnikes, I gotta get on this game soon and just pound through these things if I want this free mech, or just pay more money. So
yeah, that's kind of where I got to. Is like, well, I've got my 50 faction play games. That was annoying. Oh, now I have to grind through 100 to get a Stormcrow. Well.
Oh well, but I think overall though, if you weren't fighting for the mech, you still got plenty of free swags. I mean, I got plenty of Seabills, which I in turn wasted immediately. So,
what I said last week at least is that it's okay doing a big event every so often, but they are quickly following it up with this new event.
Yes,
that I feel is a bit too close on the heels, particularly since at least we're also going to get a patch soon as well.
Yeah, because for those of you watching, there is a new event coming out, aptly named Kills for Bills.
It's currently active, by the way.
Kills for Bills.
Yeah.
Yep. How long is it running for?
3 days.
Another 3 days and 16 hours and some odd minutes.
So not even when the new stuff comes out, when a lot of people are coming in.
What's funny is I actually thought this was a No Guts No Galaxy ad for something. I didn't think it was actually for
Yes.
for a event or anything. I'm like, oh, okay, forget it. I don't really care about that thing.
Yeah, but honestly though, I mean, this event, it's just like a small baby event. It's just like, hey, if you want it, go for it. If you don't want it, whatever. But if you do, pretty much if you play during the weekend, you're gonna get it because it's not that hard to get, honestly.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're going after that thing, and also to appease all the bills out there in the audience.
Well, I've already completed part of the the overall objective for it. So you've got, in the quick play side, 40 kill assists, 20 kills, and then 10 solo kills. I've already finished 2 of the 3.
Yeah,
Already? Damn.
not too hard.
Yeah.
For an 8
So, well, it's been running for over 8 hours now, give or take.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like, it started last night sometime.
Well, the nice thing is, like for the 10 solo kills, you get 500 MC, and that's just freaking crazy good. I mean, you're definitely able to actually get some type of like logo for your mech or something, or a couple skins that you want to have for it as well. And it's easy to do if you just go play. And they also have it for quick play and faction play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
if you're
actually-
a good scouting or assault pilot, you could probably rattle that out a lot quicker and get a lot more reliable MC than the loot bags.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah,
if you
true.
do scouting, that's gonna be really easy to get. Because I love
Here's
scouting.
actually one quick thing that I'm not completely sure about, the quantity thing. Do you get those 500 MC the first time you complete those 10 solo kills?
I have
do
no
you
idea.
need-
I
Or
don't
do
know.
you need to get those 10 solo kills 10 times?
Hmm.
I
I'm not
think
sure.
it's,
I hope it's not the latter.
Because that's a big thing here. Like 10 solo kills for 50 MC is like, okay, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm gonna get a couple of those, but I won't grind for it. If you get 500 MC for just the first 10 solo kills, then that's a really good event.
I imagine it's just for 10, since it is only a weekend event, and they are usually trying to set a low bar so that people don't feel like they have to play, a numerous number of hours to get the maximum return of little trinkets.
Yeah. So, but
Which is good.
But I think, in conclusion, for that event, it's simple, it's easy. You play the game, you're gonna get it.
And the
solo
faction
kills, huh?
play side is the exact same thing. It's the
Yes.
same goals and everything. So scouting will probably be the most efficient way to do it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the fastest.
It's
And plus,
super
I mean,
easy.
1,000 MC, like for both of them. So just let you guys know.
All right. In other recent news, at least before we go on to next patch Tuesday, they brought out a couple of new, a couple of the Civil War mechs have become available for C-Builds and MC. I.e., you can now get the Cougar for C-Builds.
I
which
bought
means,
one.
Yep. And also the Annihilator for MC.
Mm-hmm.
So just to touch really quick on those, on this thing for those people not paying too much attention, the Cougar you can get for Siebel now includes the one with the ECM head hardpoint. So
Which
you
is
can
the
now put
8.
ECM on all of your Cougars,
Yeah, so
As
make sure
well
you
as
buy.
jump jets.
as well as jump jets if you're willing to give up the high hardpoint.
Yes. So buy the H, or use the H Omnipods.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Like the H has the Cougar is basically an adder without as brilliant quirks, but it has 2 tons worth more of pod space, and it can fit that ECM and that jump jets.
So very
Definitely
much
good.
worth it.
Like that one.
Yep.
You convinced me to go buy Clan Mech, damn it.
For shame, you've bought a clanner.
And Annihilator for MC, which isn't really that interesting, at least since you have to pay through the nose for a 100-tonner.
I'll wait a
So,
little bit for that.
In general, I think it's not worth buying mechs for MC. Just wait another week and grind out the Siebels. It's gonna be a lot easier.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And I'm sure PJ will give us plenty more events to get more C-Bills.
Yes.
Well, like if you have the tournament pack, I think you get an extra 1.5 million if you do all quick play, and the 1.5 for all faction. So
Mhm.
you might get just some extra one.
I desperately need those Siebel
Yes, you
events.
You need money, dude. You need-
I'm currently down to 297 Siebels. That's
Jesus.
it. And
That
this
sucks.
happens every single week.
That's because you have a habit.
Yeah.
I've got a habit of spending way too much on theme nights.
Yes, as do I. Oh, yes, real
Like,
quick to our viewers, there's going to be another theme night tonight, so stay tuned.
Are we
One.
going to
And-
mention what the
Yeah,
theme night's gonna be about?
let's mention what theme night is too.
Oh, okay,
It-
fine. I was going to keep it a mystery, but fine.
It's gonna be lightning and thunder.
Yes.
Lots
it's
of
going to burn.
PPCs, particle
gonna-
projectile cannons.
It's going to burn very much.
Yeah,
Feel
but
the burn.
just looking at the pricing, for example, the Annihilator, it's like 5,000 MC for the hero,
Mhm.
which is like about $30. If you get the $30 MC pack, that's
Ugh.
6,500. Now, for $30, you could get the standard pack plus the hero or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's
Or,
just
a similar price.
I think
Yes.
it's also the most expensive of the current Assault Mechs heroes.
So
What's your
basically,
build for it,
if you want to get mechs for real money, get the packs through the store and don't use MC.
Yeah, using
Yeah.
MC to buy that stuff is always sort of a trap, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, Aethermech, I think you're right. No, the only one that's more is Direwolf.
Really?
Direwolf is more pricier than the
Because it's
Annihilator.
technically starting with like an XL engine. The Mean Baby also is an
yes.
XL. Yeah, and that's why it's so expensive.
Ooh, the Kaiju's are close. Very close.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, and the Kaiju's is the same
Kaiju-
amount of money.
I knew Kaiju was rough, but
And so's the Kodiak, same price for the Kodiak.
what about Boar's Head?
I think I may have passed it up, actually, but I'll get back to it. I think it was not.
This
Or-
one, Boar's Head was like 39.
Ooh, the Warhawk, 7,970.
Oh,
Oh my. Then again,
High
the
five.
Warhawk is really expensive through the store because of that stupid $240 package.
Boar's Head, same price.
well, the
7,500,
Warhawk Hero isn't it you're talking about? Because that's the a later release. You can
Oh,
get
the
that
hero,
for just
okay.
$25.
Okay.
Dollars.
Oh my god!
Anyway, so yeah,
70,000.
that was just a quick update, guys. If
Yeah, quick
you've
update.
been thinking about the Cougar or want to go back to the Cougar, you can now try it with ECM, jump jets, and all that jazz for seatbelts.
Yeah, Cougar, worth it.
It's a fun mech.
It's a snack.
If you enjoy being a slow adder.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
With less quirks.
So what's next on the agenda?
I think there's a quick PSA to put out. Next week we're gonna have a new map. So just
Well,
mentioning
that's
one.
what we're getting onto is there's going to be a big patch next Tuesday, which they are bringing out a whole slew of things, which includes, yes, the new map that we talked about before. There was a teaser trailer for it. There is also the Thanatos, of course, all ECM, 75 Innisphere mech with lots of missiles and energy, and some ballistics as well. So a lot of interesting things going on there. And lastly, the loyalty rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this map does actually turn out to be a run around, type thing. NASCAR and
Oh, again, that'll come down to how it's kind of laid out and how the players kind of approach it.
very true. Yeah, but
Everyone's going to be running around like headless chickens to start with. So
for a week,
Yeah.
it's be awesome, man. I can't wait.
Like I said, like the first week of a new map is always the best week because no one knows how to use it just yet. So there's always a lot of fun experimentation on map stuff when it first comes out.
I mean, if we're playing some matches, I would quite advise us to pick up some ECM mechs because a lot of people in those things have no idea where to go or where they can go. So if you just snipe at their heels, run around with ECM mechs,
Yeah.
you can totally abuse the pugs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I plan on doing stealth nukes, so it'll be okay.
Stealth nuke.
Yeah, one of the Thanos with the 6 missile hardpoints. You go 6 SRM, 6s with Artemis and stealth armor and ECM,
big-
and like a
Isn't-
light.
oh yeah,
360.
that's all over the mech.
The big heavy mech with big side, like shoulders, just like the Uzil, that one. When
Yeah.
it first came out, before we actually started.
I'm okay with it though.
More-
I
Okay.
expect it to do much better than what anyone else says.
I hope
Simply
so.
because it is a 75-ton mech. It'll have enough armor up front to start with, and then once you start packing on the survival tree, it'll actually make it fairly decent.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm just
granted,
worried.
Little
that's all.
faith.
I mean, granted, the one that has the 6 missile they only gave it base structure quirks, no armor quirks.
I know.
That's all right.
I'm just
is the roll
gonna
for it
say
yet?
I hated the Thanatos and Mechwarrior 4. I'm gonna hate it in the Mechwarrior Online as well. So
Oh, they got the quirks up for the
Yeah, they did.
Thanatos.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay,
they do.
cool. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's
The
interesting.
quirks for
Actually.
the loyalty mechs, I think. Yeah.
Oh, did they put? Wait, sorry. Did they say there's a quirks for the loyalty mechs or no?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
So that's always going to be after the podcast.
Yes, that'll be during or shortly after the podcast. They'll have the quirks out for the urban mech. That is the only one we care about.
So if you're watching this on a later point of time, just go to MWOmercs.com and take a look at the patch notes.
Oh wow, Thanatos ST has 6 MRM 10s. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Merm vomit.
Huh, that's kind of cool. Cool.
Love
Can't
it.
wait.
But yeah, they're all structure, aren't they, Larsh? I didn't see any with armor.
Yes,
Yeah, they're
there is.
all structure.
You know,
Larsh, that's a 5T. Or, sorry, Bob, that's a 5T, not an ST.
Oh, 5G? Okay, sorry. I gotta wear more glasses. I gotta get my eyes checked, dude.
The best part is it's shorter than a lot of the other 75-ton mechs, so it'll actually be kind of short and boxy.
Mhm.
And it
Oh, yeah,
has
they do
nice
have
high
nice-
mounts. It's not like a Black Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely squat. It's a
Still,
squat
you know,
mech.
And, like, yeah, the side torsos are easy to isolate, but eh?
I mean, that's
if
the
you
only
can,
thing I'm gonna be
light
targeting,
engine,
though.
Light engine mech.
I mean, if you can
Yeah, I
torso
mean-
twist,
They all come with XL, so you just strip the XL out, sell it, and then stick the appropriate size light engine in, and it's almost identical. So
But if you're a person like Ian, though, he has no money, so definitely target the.
that's why you sell the
You sell the
XLs.
XLs.
I've got plenty of standard engines lying around, and since this
Okay.
mech has a couple energy torso points, that might make a somewhat acceptable zombie.
I know. Still, you knock out that and knock out the light engine. It's still like the firepower and everything else goes way down. Or the
Also, another thing to kind of bring up, the 5S variant can probably do dual heavy Gauss.
Yes,
That's
that's
just-
gonna be a big thing.
it's disgusting.
And those are
And-
above the cockpit mount, so
Oh, that
So
is right. I'm looking at that
peaking.
now. That's
Peaking
interesting.
heavy Gauss.
it'll be dirty.
It's
The
gonna be
fun
real
mech is
dirty.
hidden behind the reinforcement paintwall, though.
Yes.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, when it actually comes out for C-bills, at least from my
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I didn't buy this one, sadly.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one.
Mhm.
Wheel hard enough.
Hey,
Yeah,
I wailed hard enough to get the new mech. Okay,
It's
the
Christmas,
gift.
man. I can't
Yeah.
wail anymore.
Because yeah, those ballistic side torsos are locked behind the paywall along with the spread missile hardpoints.
Yes.
Yeah, we also didn't know where the mounts were going to be when they announced it, so no one could actually guess if they're going to be high or low. I think everyone assumed they were going to be Atlas height.
Well, just like the Cougar mounts for the ERPPCs are really high, so that's nice. Be able to peek over the hills and shoot your PPCs.
Yeah, with the high mounts and at least a little bit of quirks here and there to buff up the weapon systems and buff up its survivability, it might do quite well. I was worried at least because they always sort of make ECM mechs kind of meh,
Mm-hmm.
and this is a whole line of ECM mechs, and they might just make them all meh, but they all have either standard 75-tonner agility or above.
And stealth armor.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Thanatos, to summarize it up, maybe is gonna be a good mech. It's gonna be a fun mech, and I'm looking forward to the C-bill release.
I just want something new, so I'm happy that way. Just anything.
I
new is
imagine
good.
it's going to be very sloppy, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't care. Sloppy's good. Sloppy's fun. Very, very fun.
It has really big legs, though.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was thinking about just doing one day of just hitting legs, and that's it. I'm gonna only target legs. I'm gonna do that for one night.
Be like be a
sometime.
clanner for one day.
There for one day. Be a cheating clanner. Be a cheating MF and clanner that only shoots legs because they're dishonorable. And they should be honorable like in the lore, but they're not. And they don't fight in stars, they fight in companies. What the hell?
All right. Also, just kind of going through comments because you should probably do it too.
Okay.
Is that no, that's cool. I'm probably butchering the hell out of this one, but Havocome, HAVOCME says this thing looks like a missile-themed Warhammer almost, is what he's saying.
Ooh. Yeah, it does
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it
Kinda,
does.
yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, because the Warhammer doesn't really have many missile ones except for the one variant.
It just has
And
a
it's only
little
3
thing on
missiles on there, and you're always adding like giant missile pods to it. Whereas the Thanatos,
Yes.
it's putting those missile
Epic me.
pods
Okay.
in its torsos or in the arms, which that just makes them better shields.
I
Yeah.
feel a really hard need to add something real quick. Do not put LMs on the Warhawk.
Don't put
Please
the
don't
lerms.
I've
You
seen
know-
way too many of those. Don't do it. It's not effective. You can
You
have
know-
a backup LM10, but not more than that.
So, Snuggles, if you're listening, you're going to be putting lerms on the Thanatos, right? Just saying.
Oh god, if we have enough whales in our group,
Trolls.
we should mass Lerm Thanatos.
Lol.
You guys are making me hurt.
The only thing is there'll be so many other Thanatoses around. There'll be a lot of ECM probably.
Yeah.
At least the first couple of days.
I'm an ECM LRM boat. No one can see me.
Yeah, and then
In some ways, that is nice since before it was only the Tempest. That was 2 missile hardpoint ECM large 70-tonner. Now Innosphere has a pretty decent 75-tonner missile.
This is pretty good. It has 3 hard points for missiles, and it's not too bad. Plus ECM. It's nice.
Yeah, it was one of the few that could ever do it. Like there's nothing like it. Otherwise, you couldn't get C-build variant.
And I kind of like how Reality Deviant there is saying that, granted this thing has very large side torsos, but the CT is looking pretty thin. So
yeah, it is.
So that's probably one good benefit of this thing is that the CT is rather small compared to most mechs in the game.
Is it just me, but does it look like a roughneck for some reason?
A little bit.
Okay, I gotta kill it.
I'm gonna join you there.
You could join in and killing the Thanatos.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Since I didn't buy one, I'll be joining in on that.
Let's do another hunting party then.
Oh, that was fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
That was really good.
I mean, it's still a fairly sizable target. It depends how much you're staring at targets. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually gets called out a lot if people are staring too much at it. It's also fairly flat, so that even if you're twisted a bit to the side, people can still see your CT fairly easy.
Well, it's just below a Black Knight, which is kind of nice. Black Knight is freaking gargantuan tall, man. Every time I use that thing, I always get hit in the head.
So
Night Gear, it's about the same size as Night Gear and the Ryan.
Yeah.
To the thing that Bida just said, I actually just had a short Mechwarrior 4 flashback. Because the Thanatos had pretty similar hitboxes as Mechwarrior 4.
Yeah.
And I remember that it was really easy to call them out when you played PvE. Because the AI tend to just stood there and shoot at you. But the Thanatos was incredibly hard to call out in multiplayer. Because people actually were able to shield their Thanatos also there. So
I was scared of Thanatos.
I'm going to assume it will be quite similar here.
Yeah.
Well, it has huge arms to go and shield with, and that's good. But it looks like all the arms have weapons in them, though. Like, unfortunately,
that is one thing.
On the hangover, the arm or the left arm at least is sacrificial.
Yeah,
true.
It all depends on what you focus on. If you go
Yes.
massive MRM and the side torsos on one of them, then you don't really care about the energy arm or ballistic arm.
So there's only a single missile hardpoint in any of the torsos.
Oh, really?
The hangover has like 4 or 5 missile hardpoints in the one arm, but because it's one arm with the limited space, you're mostly going to be rockets, which means once you fire the rockets, that arm is a shield.
Exactly.
And looking at the geometry on the hangover in the page, it looks like all the missile pods actually stack onto the arm itself, making it a bigger, better shield. So, I imagine it'll be a.
I just looked at the side torso of the Thanatos, and I might be wrong on using that as a shield. It's okay. It's not the best in the world. It's not like a Centurion, but it's still good though. It's still not as good as a Centurion, but it's not bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, I imagine that the Thanatoses will be a lot more durable than people give them credit for.
Oh yeah, I'm just worried about the right and left torsos basically, because that's what I'm targeting, and legs. I'm going to kill legs.
The legs on these are pretty thick.
Everyone knows to shoot the torsos on the Hellbringer, regardless of what it's doing. So it's going to be the same thing. Yeah.
Which, people are used to that, for the most part. Also, quick pause. I just want to say thank you to Havoc Me and Dire Raven, our 2 new follows for today. And
yes, Dire Raven also went to mine too. Thank you, man.
Great. And Dire Raven is actually a new player to Mechwarrior Online. So thanks for joining in.
Wow. Welcome, man. Oh, your brother's getting you into this game. Okay, cool, man.
Hey,
Dire Raven, nice to meet you.
He's the newest minion.
He's the newest minion.
Ark's brother, right?
Yes. And his name is Ian. So we have 2 Ians in here now.
Okay.
It's going to be fun.
That makes sense.
But cool. To wrap on the Thanatos, the Innosphere now has a really tanky 75-tonner. They have a really mediocre 75 energy boat that you shouldn't take, and now a great varied ECM 75-tonner. Yeah, to add to the stable.
It should be good.
Fun. I like it. I mean, it's okay. It looks like a roughneck.
It's all right.
It's a roughneck.
There's a lot of various different hardpoints. I'll be interested to see what people turn it into.
Yeah, there are ways to be creative in this mech that makes me wish I would have purchased it in a pre-order. But,
I mean,
Mhm.
I definitely like the paint job though. The paint job for the Hangover and the S is really nice.
yeah.
Those are kind of neat.
Buyer's remorse of not buying. Oh well. So,
Well,
what
you
else do we
can still
have?
pick it up, but no early adopter rewards.
Well, I want the freebies, but too late.
I still wish the early adopter rewards they would last until Monday or Tuesday almost, before the patch launches, because I really want to see what quirks are on a mech before
I know.
making an fully informed purchase, particularly when I actually can see its in-game model, not just the artwork.
One
Like
thing
the
that might
util-
be pretty good for mech packs in general is to add those 6.5 million C-builds just permanently, because you kind of need those to equip the mechs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
that's a different
at least the
topic.
Thanatos comes with the XL, so you sell all that.
Yeah. And
XL 375s, that goes for a pretty penny.
the missile Thanatos comes with a 300 light engine.
Yeah.
So
God,
they already have it
that's-
set for brawling. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a
perfect for
reinforcement
Merm
there.
Knight.
Also, completely missed that the what is it? The Hero Mech has a Targeting Computer Mark III in this thing.
Well, it's not a clan one, but yeah.
Well, didn't you see it has like 4 Rocket 15s and a Rocket 10
Yeah.
stock?
It does.
That's
Great.
silly.
That's a great
Fast
amount of
rocket.
damage.
I love that.
Iron Fist, man.
Power fist.
Power
Yeah,
Fist.
you can do some good fisting there with that mech.
Oh my.
Yes.
I think
Alright.
we're getting into dangerous territory. Let's move on.
Yeah. So I guess to move on, probably like the last thing we really had to do, and we're blowing through today's topics, by the way, which should give us plenty of time, is that any more opinions on the mechs we're getting next week? Because we're getting a whole handful of stuff.
Well,
along with
I
these
think-
patch notes.
I think at least the first things first is the loyalty reward mechs are also launching, and the deadline for them is right up till patch day, right
Yeah.
up to the hour.
Mhm.
So if you haven't got them still, and your payday is close, or you're interested in anything, you still have time to pick up some of those loyalty rewards.
Just to give you a quick example, for just $7 you can get a free urban mech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
With
and
Sea-Bill
Urban.
boost and missile hardpoints.
it's gonna be a fun urban mech. I mean, if
The
wait
second
for that
coming
one.
of Ruby Day.
Oh, we got to do Mother.
ooh, we could
with
do
the new
Mother.
Urbies. Yes. Mother with Urbies.
MRM Mother.
Yeah, I think that's the big standout, at least to point people towards, is that missile Urbi. For very cheap price, it's a nice hero light mech that you get MC and the thing for. Like, of all of them, that's the thing to look out for. There's still
And-
jump jet
and-
linebacker, ECM in the
Griffin.
other arm for the thing. Yeah, Griffin with Ballistix.
Exactly.
And a Victor with a whole slew of Ballistics all over the place.
Oh, yes.
Good
We
Fox
can
looks okay.
finally put LB20s on a Victor, so I'm really excited for that one.
Mm-hmm.
For the clan, for the rewards in general, the big rewards, obviously the linebacker and the Victor, and you need to spend a lot of money to actually get those. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna stay with the opinion that the Urbi mech is by far the one to look out for most.
Yes,
The
urban
paint
mech
job
is-
looks great on that thing, man. I love what it looks like. All the earth tones and everything look beautiful.
Another thing I think I remembered, there's the deadline's coming patch day Tuesday, but it also applies for any of the new mechs that they've announced. So if you were interested in the Black Lantern and the whatever they announced before, those also count. So you don't have to buy an old pack to get these rewards, by the way, just in case anyone is curious out there.
Okay.
Which is nice. If it would be really annoying if you qualify technically because you just really like the Black Lantern, you bought the collector pack, and then PGI screwed you over.
And I'm also looking forward to the Kit Fox too that we're gonna be getting. I like the Kit Fox.
Those side torsos.
Yeah,
What's on the side torsos?
Missiles.
missile side torsos for Kit Fox with
So you
ECM.
put some ATMs on them.
Yeah, oh, yeah, ATM Kit Fox.
Well, now it can LRM dangerously.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm still liking the old one, like with the 2 on each side, like for the energy ones, and it works pretty well. Very, very, very high amounts.
You can
For
do
the-
triple AMS and 3 SRM2s on the KitFox now. Max
Yeah.
derp.
Next derp. You would need a lot of ammo for that. Unless you want to do
big man.
laser AMS.
Obviously, triple laser
Oh.
AMS on the KitFox.
Oh god.
I like suiciding.
And of course, at least the nice thing with all these loyalty ones is they are coming out for C-bills eventually. So the whales aren't exclusively going to get jump jet linebackers. That's going to become a
Mhm.
thing for everybody. And also, yeah, missile side torso KitFox, which is obviously going to be the new meta, is also will eventually be available for C-bills.
Oh yeah, and then also in the chat there, I forgot about Small Fry here saying, do you think we'll be able to have that 2 ECM? That's right. That
No,
was
they at least what I've heard is they said no, you can't equip both simultaneously. So you
Yeah.
can have 2 omnipods that allow ECM at the same time, which is not really that worth it.
So instead of 240, you're now can only be targeted like only past 100 or something.
Well, if only that would have
Yeah.
been the dream.
Yeah.
It would just cut down even more. You could be the maximum support mech if they allowed you to bring 2 ECM computers plus the nodes and
Jesus.
AMS.
And a probe for good measure.
Well,
Yeah.
and a narc side torso, eh?
Ooh.
And if you're a whale and you got the energy side torso, a tag there and a flamer.
18-9
Tag.
with a narc. Ooh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna like
Maximum support, if only.
this.
You can knock them and you can put some deep probes in there. Okay.
Okay.
I do hope those
Let's
missile
move on.
hardpoints are high so that I can narc people in KitFox. That would be great.
Oh, they put a photo out earlier actually, and they are
Alright,
Yeah,
they're basically the like top bunny ears will have the
Yeah,
missiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they replaced the venting with the missile pods.
Oh yeah, that's a nice narking spot indeed.
Yeah, it's very
That-
nice looking.
That should affect cooling efficiency, though.
it's gonna be nice. Can't wait. So what's next on the agenda as far as like is it build 3?
I don't know.
Well, I think at least the thing we should prioritize is questions from last podcast. Since we asked people to
Yeah.
ask us some questions in the comments section, I think it's fair we answer those first.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we had like 2 people who had questions, or it's more like one had like his own opinion and one had a question.
Mhm.
Actually, I
Alright.
had them up here. Just trying to see where I put them at. So yeah, so we had May saying, just throw it out there, clan weaponry is heavy due to additional heatsink requirements.
Well, that's the
Kind
way to
of.
balance it though, like in the game system, especially in the board game, was it does fire further, it does more damage, but it had to have some type of drawback against it. Otherwise, everyone just go play clan, which they're doing now. They'll play clan like anyways, and so they had to have some type of drawback as far as it increases the heat.
Mhm.
You know, especially like in the board game itself, and that's kind of like why they actually have that some drawback to make sure no one's going to abuse it.
Mhm. Let's translate that into Mechwarrior Online then. You don't have to fire non-stop. You can just Alpha Strike, cool down, and fire again, which is what most of the clanners are doing, which is why we're seeing this stupid high pinpoint damage laser bomb builds. So
Again, yay.
Easy button.
Here's a button.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to constantly fire 4 medium lasers without getting too hot, yeah, you need a crazy amount of heat sinks to do that. But if you're running just 4 medium lasers, you might as well just hit and run with that in that light mech you're running.
So I guess to our that comic comment, we can basically say if you're doing it the way they were originally meant to be in tabletop, then yes, you need additional heatsinks. If you're doing the cheeky easy button boring stuff, then you don't need additional heatsinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
mean,
gotta figure out.
yeah, my personal playstyle though I love constantly laying on fire, holding down areas of the map, and for that I typically like having more heat efficient mechs that don't necessarily have the hugest alpha, i.e. very unclan like. And it's a huge culture clash for me when I'm trying to build for clans, because I want to make them in a sphere. I want to make it so I can sustain, but their weapons are made for a very different purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is often why I sort of take, a fairly middling alpha, but then I throw in an arc and a couple of machine guns or whatever, just so I've got something funny and gimmicky to use.
Just to have that Swiss Army knife going in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, and then we had one other comment, which is from Telmo. I'll try to paraphrase or condense it because he did have a lot, but he is actually one of our constant viewers.
Regulars.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, and he never tends to watch us live, but he always comes in late. So we appreciate you coming in. Hoping you're watching this later. So just to say that he did miss our review on the Black Lantern, but he came in to come in and see it, and he says that he can make 3 good builds with the Lantern. He says it can't pack Artemis because of lack of tonnage, and despite the game. Despite the engine being a 385, it's locked to 0 inside heatsink, so heat efficiency will not be good either. I wish the hero had jump jets, despite the lack of tonnage, for extra mobility, like the Shadowcat emulator. To be honest, I can't see any scenario where I take the Black Lantern instead of a Battle Mech variant Arctic Wolf. For running with a Piranha, the 365 XL will give the ARW Piranha speed of 147 kph and 6.5 tons, or a 315. I'm just off the wall today. Or a 315 XL for 127 kps and 13 tons to work, more than the Black Lantern.
Well, the Black Lantern.
Yeah.
It's bringing more of that Swiss Army knife. It's after bringing ECM and Mask.
Yeah, and then he ends with, this mech is very brios, or the beef, a mech for players that excel at ambushing lights and mediums in flanks.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
So that last statement, I'm 100% with you there, and that's the only and foremost reason I bought the Black Lantern.
Yeah, to do ambushy fun things like that.
I got the Black Lantern because I like the Derpa mechs. I need to turn this into some stupid Swiss Army knife.
I know the product going 147 with 12 machine guns. That's pretty nasty.
That's not the scary one, though. The scary one would be the micro pulse boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, micro pulse would be nasty.
That would be hysterical.
So, what I'm looking at, this requires hero reinforcement, though, is I would want to do 6 machine guns, NARC, PPC, AMS, and ECM. I think there might just barely be enough that you'd have to strip probably the legs a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe not go AMS, but yeah, that is at least my possible plan for the thing, making it a fast-moving arrow with ECM. Now, that is kind of funny. I like that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that is a fast arrow.
Yeah. I kind of look at the Black Lantern in general as kind of like the linebacker version of a medium mech, whereas they put such a big engine in it that you're almost limited to just putting on the smallest weapons and just going for maximum amount of pokage.
Mm-hmm.
But the linebacker though, that all that armor made it a pushing mech for the clans, which is actually quite good for them in some ways. Like it just waddles in there. It's a giant wad of armor. And splats people with SRMs.
Except we started seeing almost every linebacker I've started seeing has started bringing like 9 small pulse lasers, and they're just kind of like running around with the cheetahs and stuff again.
Yeah, and
so instead of encouraging the team to push, they're kind of off doing their own thing again.
Yeah. And considering that kind of like how Biter said, just a wad of armor, but small pulses, very, very short cooldown. Yeah, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah, but the Lana can't do the mass energy or missiles so much. It's a lot more restricted in its hardpoints, which is why almost like the hero doing an arrow is actually kind of quite appealing, because that is actually, 6 machine guns is, as we see in a lot of the light mechs, quite a nice complement to any other build.
Yeah. I think for me, it's going to come down to quirks too. See what this thing has.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, with the artwork looks pretty good for the Falcon. If you're a Jade Falcon type person, the decals they look halfway decent. The colors are pretty nice. The Omnipod hardpoints, yeah, like I can see some good things like coming out of this, especially with the head like ECMs. I definitely see some good things. And then the 6 energy for the C looks really nice on the left arm, and you can switch those out to be if you got the hero, you can switch out to 3 ballistic and then 6 energy and just be an arm mech like most other like mechs are too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that being said, the 6 laser arm, just from the images they've already given us from it, it looks like it's going to end up looking like the Viper hand, where it's like the little tiny arm comes off and then you get a great big laser brick on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that may or may not be a big weak point on the mech.
It's going to be like a Viper or a Cougar in that sense.
But at
I would
least that
probably-
is one of its big draws, is that you can at least fit a lot of stuff there. Just like
I would probably just fit
Okay.
just grab the A because it has ECM and mask, and then basically switch out the Omnipods to be whatever you want to, basically, and just use that as my stock build. Use either like the A or the Prime, basically. And then the rest of them gonna be like, okay, whatever. The rest, then I'll just use those two as stock builds and build from there, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. But it's cool though. Looks nice. A nice little mech. Can't wait.
I just wish the image for the hero wasn't lies.
It's lies.
Oh, it's lies? Really?
It's got 3 ballistic in each side, in each arm, but obviously it's showing they just
Lasers.
recolored it. It's got lasers.
Yeah.
I think they at least oh no. Okay. Yeah. It's still got the left torso missile, I think.
Yeah, it has the missiles in it.
It's just recolored, yes.
Yeah.
Because there's also a left torso energy apparently on that hero, which of course isn't in the C variant. So I wonder where that energy is. Where do you put it?
Well, we'll just say that they swapped.
The sun don't
omnipods.
They'll find something for it.
1 energy, 1 missile. Yeah, you're right.
Hell, you could even take out the left arm, the 3 ballistic there, switch out the torsos. You have an extra missile, left torso. You can have 1 energy, 1 missile. I mean, there's a lot of cool Omnipod things you could do for this to be a freaking monster. I mean, for a 55-ton mech, I mean, it's gonna be nice, especially if you know how to go build mechs. Except for that horn. Whatever that was.
Sorry, that was my phone. I'm surprised my phone vibrate came through like that. Damn.
That was funny.
It's loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down here now. Oh, there we go.
I am now awkwardly checking my phone to make sure it's off.
Oh, jeez, that's funny.
So, new rule: all phones off of hard objects so they can't vibrate.
Yep.
Oh, there was a horn. I'm like, right after I finished, I'm like, what?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So-
beyond that, yeah. So, sorry, go ahead there. I was just gonna be like, beyond that, like, what else is there to talk about today?
Spare time general build stuff. So basically, what? Actually, I was going to ask this. What do you think? Just real quick, what mechs are best for certain types of maps? So obviously, learn mechs basically would be for like Polar Highlands. But what light, medium, heavy, and assault mechs will be best to use on certain different types of mechs or maps? I'm sorry.
Ooh, you know what? I have an idea that might segue to later on today. What good PPC mechs are there for which maps?
Well,
Let's
obviously,
just say what's a good PPC mech, because it's
Yes.
usually at least you take a good PPC mech and bring it to any map and it'll do all right.
Very
Yeah,
true.
true.
Got the
Other than
Warhawk
that,
and the
so
Kaiju as some of the assaults that have the decent PPC quirks and loadouts on them.
I would like to start off with the Edda and the Warhex, so I've got the easy picks, and you guys can do the hard ones. And the Cougar, because the Cougar looks absolutely stupid.
It looks
It looks
awesome, man,
looks
with those
adorable.
2 big PPCs on it. I love
looks
it.
like
Can't wait
it's
to
about
use
to
it.
be
You could do high-mounted PPC side torsos, but it's got 2 big, giant cardboard tubes right by the cockpit.
Exactly. I can't wait to use it. Well, just like
Well-
the Hunchback, when they like I had to go put ammo in certain like position, they have the Hunchback 2C for not to blind me every time I use it. have it like go, like go down one
Oh
or two
yeah,
spaces.
had to bump down the DCs because the muzzle flash was too much.
Exactly. And with old man glasses like I have, can't see straight.
Ooh, we actually got a question in the chat there. So, question: Clan PPC does 10 in one spot and 5 spread. Does IS Heavy do the same for it, or does it do 15 to one spot?
Pinpoint. It's pinpoint.
Yeah, the IS Heavy PPC is all to one spot.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it actually gave more detail, like what is splash damage, like for a new player, saying, hey, splash damage is within 2 or 3 meters, it does an extra 5 points of damage, or something like that would be nice.
Yeah, for clan PPC, it just says 10, and that's it. And at least to somebody who doesn't realize, that actually sounds kind of weak for what you're doing.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also a new question. John says, "The hell? Who let Ian in?"
Is he talking about the other Ian or me?
No, just you in general.
In general.
Okay then. I mean I can go. Okay, see you.
He's just asking a question, but yes.
Actually, it was me that let Ian in, by
Invited
the way.
him in.
Yeah, basically invited him in. Felt Ian basically has really good contributions to the podcast, and plus also he does actually run his own channel, and he knows a lot about different types of things that are going on as well too. So I figured basically why not, good person and be a good fit for the channel as well.
Yes. Okay, and then also for another actual real comment and question there, Nano says a catapult K2 could work well.
I saw that
K2.
comment, and Nano, you are awesome to remember that, Mac. It's one of my favorite catapults.
The Jester also does PPC as well.
Ooh, yes, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I'd say the Jester if you have it.
Well, I agreed. It's still another hero mech, but it has the same arm styles that the K2 does.
Were we fighting a bunch of the catapults with heavy PPCs like last night?
Yep.
That was a fun match, and actually, I want to buy one of these because I don't have any catapults, and ever since they did like the rescaling, I like how they look.
Yes.
I don't have
K2 is a
any
nice one
catapults
to
either.
pick up because that can do the PPC shenanigans for now, but then also side torso ballistic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
it
old
looks like a
Metabuild
lot of
K2
fun.
was
I do
double
have
AC
one
20 or double goes.
And
So
not only
you
that,
can do
but
things.
it has quirks for plus 20 PPC velocity and plus 10% ballistic range and negative 10 energy heat.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is
question-
nice.
The big question is, can you do dual heavy Gauss in it?
I don't think you can.
Yes,
Can you?
you can if you strip. You can barely do it in the Usil, so you can definitely barely do it in the K2.
Ooh,
la la.
the K2 you can. That'd be nice. Okay, we got to do Gauss Night again. I'm
Oh
ready.
no! I don't want,
I want the K2.
flashbacks. Bob, you weren't there.
I know I wasn't.
Nah. If we do, I'm drinking a lot of coffee to focus up, or I'm going to be drinking Monster energy drinks to make sure I got my pinpoint accuracy on point for that day.
We could also just practice some days beforehand.
Yes! Private lobby.
Snipey or brawly style.
Practice on
True.
try hard.
Let's try hard.
Indeed.
What's so good about the Jester though? 6 energy.
Jester.
6 energy, 2 AMS.
Mhm.
And it has the highest engine cap.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I ran my Jester with dual regular AMS, XL 315, and 4 ERPPCs for a while.
Okay, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
at all.
at least for the night I've got, yes, indeed, the Warhawk lined up. That is always a star of the show. It's got the PPC quirks, though. PJ, I have been tuning it down over time. I'll be interested to see how it performs. Though still, being able to chuck out so much damage in a short amount of time with all those quirks is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, also, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
sorry. I'll say it for sorry.
Go,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for those of us running the Cougar tonight, we're gonna have to go ahead and prove a viewer wrong, saying because Ederin Seeker saying, "Oh God, the Cougar! It's the mech that struggles to break 100 damage even with ECM."
Oh God! Oh, we're gonna
No,
break
that's
that.
the Osiris.
That's the Cyrus.
Has
That's
that
your
problem.
Cyrus.
Yeah, Cougars would be easy to break 100, man. That's nothing.
Yeah, so
You know what's funny? Like when I first began playing, 100 damage, I'm like, wow, that's a lot of damage. And when I first played, now it's like if I don't get 100, I like go in the bathroom, just go take a shower, I feel dirty.
Yeah, because for now, like the minimum to call yourself good is like 500.
Yeah.
Or 300, if depending on the mech.
Yeah, depends. Depends.
Well, if you can roll 400 average damage out of like the St. Ives Blues, then you're a good player.
There you go.
Okay, good then, cool.
Yeah, I mean, we got to classify it with an actual mech behind it because
Yeah,
rolling 500 damage is easy. Some mechs. I mean,
in the end,
yeah,
so
true.
you can give almost anyone a Kodiak 3 and just go, here, point this at that guy and pull the triggers, and it'll work.
yeah.
Okay, I'm buying the
not
K2 now.
necessarily sure about that though, because with the nerfs the Clan UX and the jam chance, jam time, Clan UX have really fallen out of favor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Kodiak 3, I mean, it's sometimes there, but it just jams itself up so often now. It's kind of easy peasy, easy pickings.
Yeah, you just keep pushing in on it and take advantage when it jams.
Yeah, exactly. Like I did buy the Kodiak 3, haven't really played it much, but I was like, I did run UAC 2, 5, 10, and 20, but now all of them are jamming at different times. It's really confusing. So
Yeah.
I just run four Gauss rifles now, which is actually what I've seen a lot more often.
Yeah, that's how it's starting to shift. Another thing to do with it is the 4 LVX 10s because that's really efficient.
Yeah,
it's very
I've had
cool.
troubles with that one though because it's only a 40 alpha, and it's damage over time kind of thing. Like a lot of people, they aren't scared of that. And even if I'm splatting people at like 500 meters range, it goes all over the place, and it takes a while to kill anything. At least for a 100 tonner, it just doesn't feel good enough. Like you're a great mopping up mech though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we have about 10 more minutes. Was there anything else here from the comment section?
I was
Let me
going to
go check
continue
mine.
at least
continue.
the PPC ones. I said
Yes.
the Warhawk, of course, it's got all those quirks, but the PPC Awesome is one maybe I'll take out.
Yes.
That's
That's
got
another I have to go get.
20% heat reduction on PPCs and 20% velocity.
Which variant is that one? Is that the 9M?
8Q
8Q.
is the
Okay. Is it
it's
awesome?
the one all energy. Yeah, it's an Awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it's,
PPC velocity.
yeah.
Yeah.
8 gen, yeah.
Wow. The structure plus 25 plus it. Jesus.
Woo!
Mhm.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a little tanky bastard.
Yeah, it's skilled out here. Most is skilled out, I think. Yeah, fully skilled out. It's got 77 total armor and 67 structure in the side torsos.
Damn.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's a beefcake.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm buying one.
The only problem is, people critting out your weapons. Like, at least people open up your armor, but you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to keep fighting. And then an urban mech with a couple of machine guns come along, and you go, no! And you run in terror.
and then you just waddle around. No, get it off me.
Like, I currently run it 2 heavy PPC, 2 large pulse. Yeah, it's a 50-point alpha I can throw instantly at the enemy.
Though
Though,
PPC and large pulse, you said?
yeah,
That's not
2
bad.
of each. Though you can do like 4 PPC, 5 PPC even, and
Mhm.
just throw out all the lightning.
Yeah.
Throughout the Awesomes, basically the 8Q, going back to lore quite a bit, the 8Q is the standard Awesome, which you can see literally everywhere in lore.
Mhm.
And the 9M
Yeah.
was basically supposed to be an improved version of that, where you have
Was the 6-3, yeah.
3 additional missile hardpoints. So
Yeah.
you can do some extra stuff in Mechwarrior Online. You get some energy cooldown instead of those PPC quirks.
And granted, I'm looking at the 9M right now, and for quirks at least, it does give you -10 energy cooldown, -5 energy heat, -10 PPC heat generation for
Which helps.
Yeah, and plus 10% PPC velocity.
So
one nuisance with that though is look at those hard points. Like there's 4 stuck in the CT. What?
They are mixed around, and I know in the store, with the ones in the CT and one in the head, it's kind of just everywhere.
yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's interesting.
I was going to say I want to run CT Narc, but then I was like, wait a minute, I have to put lasers there. Go zombie. Oh no.
Oh,
Well, at
my.
least with the AQ though, it's in the torsos. You have 5 in the torsos, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, you can put
Yeah.
all the PPCs and torsos if you want there, and there's also a 2 energy arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
For
then
that.
I would definitely go with the HQ as well. Yeah.
I just opened up the build I had on the ASUS 9M. I'm pretty sure I didn't touch this build post closed beta. I've got triple ER PPC, triple LRM5 on an XL 320.
Yikes.
That is so dumb on so many levels.
Speaking of dumb, by the way, look at the 9M if you equip missiles in its arm, like a LRM 20. It puts like 4 blocks of 5 around the outside.
Oh my god, yeah.
I wish it had missile quirks. Like that could be a good MRM40 fist of fun, but it doesn't.
Fist of fun.
Oh yeah, I like how it like wraps around the arm.
It has a maximum of 20 missile tubes in that arm, so you can't even put an MM40 on there.
Well, you can fit it, and then as with all the
Well, yeah, it doesn't render.
well, yeah, the missiles just come out of Magic Land. Yeah, they're awesome. The awesomes, at least for PPC night, is an interesting choice. It does have struggle, at least when I'm playing it. It does struggle a little bit with exposing. It's not a hill poker, and
No.
it's not the greatest poking from the side either.
It's
But
just so wide.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the barn door.
Yeah.
people aren't used to shooting at it, though. I sometimes find, and like if I do the shooting over shoulder thing, people just like they're going, "Oh, it's an awesome, I don't care," and they shoot off my left arm.
Yeah, I will say
Oh.
it's a very mediocre mech when you first see it, but it's one of those like late game heavy hitters because everyone decided to ignore it.
That's a really good shield arm though, man. Big time.
Yes, those arms shield really good.
They're
For
fairly
anyone,
good.
for anyone
Unless
not
you're looking
knowing, for anyone not knowing what Biter's meaning by shoot over the shoulder, he means turn your legs all the way to the one way, turn your torso all the way the other way, and then using your arms to shoot the opponent.
And it's got those arm hard points, so that's what I do. At least if they're close to me, what I do is I give my whole left side to the enemy, and I shoot over my shoulder with the right arm. And even if they blow off the left side, it's like, oh no, my heavy PPCs that couldn't hurt you at this range are gone. I'll
Yeah.
just keep large pulsing you.
All right, and also, then I know my personal favorite for PPC shenanigans is the Phoenix Hawk 1B,
Oh yeah.
just because this thing has ECM and it has quirks of plus 30 PPC velocity and just a bunch of base armor quirks on the arms, and they also gave it a silly little plus 20 machine gun rate of fire.
Well, and the 1B also has the benefit of having the only torso-mounted energy hardpoint on the Phoenix Hawks,
Which is funny because I never use it.
and it's mounted right at or slightly above cockpit level, so it's the best one for the PPC.
Yes.
Actually, mine is the Urban Mech R60 with a heavy PPC and 4 light machine guns.
Urban Mech.
Urban Mech.
One
I
heavy
mean,
PPC.
me personally, though, it has sadly received a lot of nerfs because PGI thought it was too OP, was the Vindicator 1R. I used to run around with just 2 PPCs in that thing, and it's got the 20% velocity, 15% cooldown, and 10% heat. It's still pretty good, and it's got the standard, or at least the typical huge amount of armor for Vindicators.
2
Yeah.
PPCs and 3 small pulse lasers. That was your build you gave me, and it works out very well.
Hmm
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe 2 more mechs to mention real quick before we run out of time are the classic heavy PPC mechs for Inner Sphere, the Marauder 3R and the Warhammer.
Marauder, yes.
Like those two, if you ever play tabletop, those two were your go-to PPC mechs.
Yep.
Mostly. They
Well,
don't have a lot of armor, but they're really good at what they do.
And to appease all the triads out there who are rolling in their graves right now, let's give special mention to the summoner with those high PPC nipples and the Hunchback 2C.
I guess you can
Another-
do Thunder Nipples.
Another oddly good PPC mech is the King Crab Hero Kaiju. It has a PPC velocity of plus 30%, and the weapon door things for the claws, where all the energies are located, don't actually interfere or cause a delay when firing energy weapons. So you can,
Yeah.
with the claws closed, you can fire your PPCs and they all fire immediately. They don't have to take that little half-second delay to open the claws.
Yeah. Other mentions, special mentions would be perhaps the Panther. At least those often have PPC
Ooh,
quirks and
yes.
plenty of armor.
Yep.
That's a fun idea. The Adder, of course, the Adder Prime has a whole bunch of quirks for the clans. And for me, at least, I'm gonna if I have the tonnage, I want to really try out the Quick Draw 4G with 2 PPCs.
Okay. And one mech we cannot forget to mention here is the Locust 1V.
Oh yeah.
Which I am taking out after the stream.
30% energy cooldown for the one
Yes.
energy in the CT, but that is plenty for a snub-nosed PPC.
Yeah, because look at this. Like if you're actually watching the stream, look at my beautiful PPC right there. It's very, very inconvincing.
Didn't you also stuff AMS on that thing?
Yeah, laser AMS and a snub nose.
Yeah, so instead of having a 4-second cooldown, it has a 2.8-second cooldown.
Yeah, it'd be so dumb. It's gonna do very little damage, but I'm gonna squirrel the hell with this thing.
It has a bit more DPS than a clan PPC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of squirreling going on at that thing.
True. Nice. We could put a light and 4 light machine guns, but that's not worth it.
Yeah, laser AMS all the way.
Not bad. It's gonna be a good time tonight.
Oh
The
yeah.
light PPC has the same damn cooldown as the snub, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's 5 damage every 2.5 seconds at long range. That's kind of fun, but you know.
Yeah, but doesn't
Or-
the light PPC
or
have a
10,
minimum range? Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
But
It's
you're a
something like
locust,
that.
so you can stay at distance and just be a huge nuisance forever.
Which one? Light PPC? Maybe I'll try them both. I'll do snub first, and then I'll do light afterwards and see.
I mean, in some
Give
funny
light
way.
Yeah, try. I played it a bit. Don't expect to get more than 200 points of damage in any game.
oh, I'm fine with that.
But
Yeah.
it's fun. It's just really not effective.
Well,
Yeah.
Knights are really like 4 damage, which is like, let's try this. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, I mean, tonight my goal is not to get damage. My goal tonight is to be obnoxious, and I think
I
with
mean-
this and the Mistlinks, I'll be happy.
If you're running light PPCs, though, like the 3M is a fun idea because that has a 20% missile cooldown, energy cooldown,
Oh.
and that thing has 4 energy in total in the arms and 1 in the CT. So you can, I'm not sure if you can fit 5 light PPCs, but you know,
5 light PPCs.
I heard talk about that today. Someone mentioned something with a lot of light PPCs and no armor.
yeah, I imagine you would need to strip the armor, but then after that, you could probably fit it. Let's look.
Oh, I'm trying it right now.
Anyway, I think we are
Yeah, I think
at the
we're
hour
done.
mark, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So, ooh, it looks fun when you put on 5 of those guys. Yeah, so anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call the podcast, I think, a close for today. So we will definitely see you guys, hopefully, afterwards. I think we're going to take a quick bio break for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to come back for PPC shenanigans. So we hope to see you there. So again, this has been Larsh, your casual mech warrior. Aethermech, Biter, Ian, and Old Bob. As always, you can catch us here on YouTube and Twitch, and of course our usual social medias. Anyone have anything they want to point out to go to your channels or anything like that?
Just saying hey.
Say hey? Okay.
Durka Durka.
Durka Durka. Okay. I don't know if I'll say that. But anyway, so bio break for about 20 minutes, and we will be back then. Until then, yes.
See you
Bye-bye.
on the battlefield.